A very good day, everyone. Today we are going to begin chapter number 1 of Political Science class 11th. The title of the chapter is Constitution, Why and How. So, as you all are new to political science, first of all, I am going to define the meaning of Constitution. Children, a constitution is a body of fundamental principles according to which a state is constituted or governed. This simply means, in simple words, it means that all those principles, all those rules and regulations which ensures governance in a country, that would be together or that would be combinedly called constitution. The Constitution is a compact document that comprises a number of articles about the governance. It would be a system in whole that would be leading towards the mechanisms that ensure rule of law, that ensures power sharing, that ensures federal principles. Let us see how it is created and why there is a need of a constitution. We will be dealing it in detail. First of all, we are going to learn it in Indian context. So let us see that who framed Indian constitution, which body constituted Indian constitution and how. The Constitution of India was created by a constituent assembly which was established in 1946 under the cabinet mission. Children, you know that it had been decided that now Britishers would be leaving India. India is going to be free in 1947. So Britishers decided to hand over the charge of Indian Union to a body which would be writing the rules and regulations for the governance in future India. So this body was called Constituent Assembly. Britishers handed over the charge of India to Constituent Assembly, and Constituent Assembly started searching and making the provisions for future Indian governance in the correct direction. Before we go ahead for studying the Constituent Assembly's working and its outcomes, let us know about the functions of a constitution. That would be letting you know that how does constitution can be made effective, or what things are short before a constitution is prepared. It also these functions would also be telling you that what we expect out of a constitution. So first and foremost function of a constitution is to provide a set of basic rules that allow for minimum degree of coordination and assurance amongst members of a society. Children, when we say society, there would be regional groups, there would be religional groups, there would be different cultural, language, diversity. So all the groups which constitute a society, which comprise of a society, there shall be minimum coordination among them. It would be the aspiration of any constitution. It would be writing the rules and regulations. It would be devising the mechanisms in such a way that harmony exists among all the sections of a society. Secondly, a constitution specifies that who has the power to make decisions in the society. This second function is directly indicating to the government. Means how government would be formed, what powers it would have, what way it could be made more democratic. what way it could be more effective. And power is not monopolized by some sections only. That is all about the second function which a constitution would perform. Third function is to set limitations on the government as well. Formation of government is not only the final function. After its formation, after it starts working, there shall be some limits over the government even. If they have started working abruptly, if they have become corrupt at any point of time, they could be checked. There should be some breaks over it. The next function of the constitution is to enable the government to fulfill sorry so just a minute. Next function of the constitution is that there is supremacy of the judiciary. What does it mean? That law should be supreme. It should help people. Just a minute, children. I'm sorry. Just a minute. Okay. So there shall be limitations on the government. Likewise, the fourth function of the constitution is to enable the government to fulfill the aspiration of a society and to create conditions for a better society. Means whatever the people's genuine demands are, government should be able to fulfill them. Government should be able to work upon them, and it should make a society more egalitarian. It should make a society more developed one. It should make a society more progressive. Okay, constitution should have all the mechanisms which ensures all these features. Okay. Sorry. Now we move to the next topic, that is, why do we need a constitution? The need of the constitution is that it defines and limits the powers of the government. What would be the powers of the government, how it would be working, what way it would be imposing the laws, how it would be making the laws, how it would be fulfilling the aspiration of the public, how it would be ensuring how it would be ensuring the enactment and implementation of policies, that all constitution would be defining. And secondly, what are the limits over the government? How can government be restricted if it has become undemocratic or if it is working unconstitutionally? That is also mechanism which constitution provides. So therefore we need constitution. Constitution becomes very important for us in this respect. Secondly, constitution defines the powers and functions of the various organs of the government. In Indian respect, you would have heard about legislature, you would have heard about executive, you would have heard about judiciary. So all these organs, principal organs, their functions would be defined by the constitution itself. Okay. Constitution is also needed because it defines the rights of the citizen, their relationship with the government, and the duties of the citizen towards the nation are also defined in the constitution itself. Therefore, constitution becomes very important document. Now, just a minute. Now let us see the features of Indian Constitution. This is very important. Just a minute. So we are going to learn some of the major features of Indian Constitution. First and foremost feature, which is very important in Indian context, that is that it is a blend of rigidity and flexibility. Children, I want to explain it very elaborate way. First of all, what is rigidity? Rigidity refers that something which is very strict, something which cannot be changed easily, something which is very strong from inside, which cannot be molded in the desired way, that we'll consider rigid. Children, when I explained you rigidity, you would have thought in your heart that why this rigidity is needed regarding a constitution, why constitution should be rigid. You would have thought like, children, you know that there are some certain principles on which constitution should be rigid. Especially these particular principles could be the core values. Core values means those values which our constitution framers, constitution makers would have thought that these should never change. These should never seek any kind of amendment. Otherwise, the basic nature of constitution itself would change. These values could be of secularism, equality, liberty, peace, etc. Children, regarding these values, Indian constitution makers wanted to be extremely firm. They wanted that whatever the protection measures, whatever the features they have included, they have adopted regarding these all values should never change. So they kept these values in that particular section of the constitution, in that particular state of the constitution, which could never be amended. Therefore, we'll say that this particular part of the constitution regarding the core values is a little bit rigid. Okay? Likewise, in Indian constitution, in any constitution, there will be some mechanism, some rules, some regulations which would need amendment, which would need modification with time. With passage of time, they would need to be corrected, to be modified. Otherwise, they would not remain in value. Such laws could include the number of states. Such particular topics may include the federal needs, may include the language policy, may include some other things which may have requirement of change after a certain period. Is it? So regarding that, constitution should give response. Constitution should allow modifications. Isn't it? So, in Indian constitution especially, there is a balance between rigidity and flexibility. There are some certain features of the constitution which can never be changed. Means no amendment would be accepted regarding some particular features of the Indian constitution, especially core values. Core values means secularism, sovereignty, peace, equality, freedom, etc. Likewise, there would be some mechanisms in which, with the consent of both the houses of the parliament, some change could be made, amendment could be made if it is required to adjust the requirement of the time. Okay, so this particular feature of modification or amendment refers to the flexibility type of quality of constitution. So we'll say that Indian constitution has strike a balance between flexibility and rigidity. Okay, so this is a very remarkable feature of Indian constitution. Now we are moving to the next particular feature of Indian Constitution, that is that it is federal in form of but unitary in spirit. What does it mean? Children, Indian Constitution is federal in form. The word federal directly refers that a group of various small unit. Okay. Indian Constitution provides the various mechanisms, various patterns, various methods through which Indian Federation runs the process of federalism very smoothly. That there are more than 3 levels of governments. First is the national government, which is ruling for the entire country. Second is the state governments who are running the provincial governments. Third is the local self-governments who have taken the issues of local self-governance, Panchayati Raj and all. So, in this way, our constitution has enabled the federal type of feature and even had created a strong federation. Now, Indian constitution is unitary in nature, means when it comes on the national issues, when it comes on the national security, sufficient powers have been provided to the national government. It has been strengthened in a proper way. Clear? Now, children, we are going to learn about that the Constitution of India is supreme, which is respected and accepted by all the institutions, may it be legislature, may it be executive, might it be judiciary. Likewise, all the citizens of India, they do have respect for it because it fulfills their needs. It gives proper response to their aspirations. So, it is being respected by all properly. Isn't it? Now let us learn, just a minute. Now let us learn about the main federal features of Indian Constitution. Let us learn that what are the different federal features of the Indian Constitution. So, just a minute. Just a minute. Sources of Indian Constitution. Children, when we say the sources of Indian Constitution, it means the main source of Indian Constitution is the Government of India Act 1935, which was brought in the British era only, colonial rule only. It is said that 50% of the Indian Constitution had been taken directly from this particular act, the Government of India Act, which came in 1935. The British Constitution, the American Constitution, the Constitution of Canada, the Constitution of Ireland, and the French constitutions are also the constitution which were read by our Constituent Assembly members, and whatever the specific feature, whatever the remarkable feature our constitution makers found while reading these constitutions, they adopted it directly. Like the federal system of Canada, like the directive principles of Irish constitution, likewise some of the remarkable features of the British constitution, we have adopted directly. They all are part of Indian constitution today. But children, here I want to let you know that it does not mean that we have copied Indian constitution from the others. We have copied in Indian constitution and others. It is not like that. Because though we adopted some of the chief features, some of the remarkable features from other constitutions, but this was not mere copying. Whatever the feature we found remarkable, for say, directive principles from the Irish constitution, we found them very remarkable in nature. So we adopted it. But before adopting, any feature from any other constitution, any other foreign constitution, we mold it as per the Indian requirements. We changed it, we set it, or we saw about that does it suits Indian condition or not. Okay, so taking the features from the other constitution was not mere copying, rather it was observed and it was made that it should give proper response to the Indian requirements. Okay, children, in this video we'll be keeping up to this much only. Rest of the part I'll cover in the next video. Thank you.